crazy story with Michael Oher, whose backstory from Ole Miss, high school to college, becoming a first-round pick, The Blind Side, with Sandra Bullock and Tim McGraw. We've all seen it. It grossed $300 million plus. He filed in Shelby County, Tennessee today, looking for an injunction, claiming that he was never adopted by Sean and Leanne Toohey. Yes, you're hearing that right. When you see the headline, you do a double take. The central element of the Blind Side story, he says, is a total lie concocted by the Tooheys to enrich themselves on his overall story and his success with this film. He says that the couple tricked him into signing this document that made them the conservator of all of his finances and worked out all of the deals on the table as soon as he turned 18 years old. Of course, they took him in to their home, and he's a part of their family in high school. And upon turning 18, he signs this document believing that that was the document that officially made him a part of the family, that he was adopted into the family, the immediate family. Turns out that he found out this past February that that was not the case, that he had never been legally adopted. And now he's looking to go back and say, we want to file an injunction. We want to stop any and all benefits that they have using my name, image, and likeness, which would be the money coming in from the film, and that they made millions off of this, both of them plus their birth children, which is also mentioned here. Crazy. And to think that he signed this at 18, he's 37 now. I'm adopted, and I'm 39. I'm trying to think, okay, and I was adopted very soon after birth. But if I had to sign this document at 18 and finding out now that nothing legally through the court system is actually valid, I can't wrap my mind around what he must have felt when he found that out, allegedly found this out in February, according to his attorney. And they've been profiting off of the conservatorship, which reminds me of like a Britney Spears element to this.
Well, and there's some in the story about they explain the conservatorship as just legalese as adopting him. That this is the way we adopt you, is by doing this. And that was, I guess, tricking him that way. If they took all the profits from the movie, I mean, that's not right.
The royalties, yeah.
Yeah, if they negotiated, I think the report was 2.5% of all profits from then on out, he got none of that, then none of that is right.
And the business benefits that they had the ability to sign in his name.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like it's got to be a meet in the middle type truth to this. I think there's probably some truth on both sides. I'm hard-pressed to believe everything Michael Oher's saying, and I'm probably going to be hard-pressed to believe everything the Tooheys are saying about it also. They probably did take some liberties somewhere along the way. It's crazy because, in thinking about this story, this would not be as big of a story if Sandra Bullock did not do such a good job in the movie. The movie was nominated for an Oscar, and she won an Oscar for Best Actress. I'm just thinking about if this was just another random run-of-the-mill movie that wasn't a big deal, that wasn't great, this would not be as big of a story. And it sounds funny, but I'm being serious. Sandra Bullock did too good of a job in this movie that made everybody believe that it was this just overwhelming Christian-type story of giving and generosity and taking this young man in. But if you watch it with a cynical eye, and I am a cynic, I watch it and think, man, they didn't do this for a lot of kids who weren't five-star football recruits. And this kid did end up at their alma mater at Ole Miss. And, man, this movie is really good. I'm not saying they took him in knowing they're going to make a movie about this kid one day and he's going to make millions. But, again, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Ends up becoming a first-round pick, right? Like, all of that plays into this. And this goes – Michael Oher was briefly in Nashville. And whenever he signed here, I remember at his locker, he was kind of pissed off about the fact that questions were still coming in about the blind side. And he was saying, like, I really don't like how I was portrayed in this. He said there's been so much created from the blind side that I'm grateful for, which is why you might find it as a shock that the experience surrounding the story has also been a large source of some of my deepest hurt and pain over the last 14 years. This is through his book. Beyond the details of the deal, the politics, the money behind the book and movie, it was the principle of the choices some people made that cut me the deepest. And what he's asking for, he's going through the finances, and any money that was earned through his name, he wants to receive his fair share of the compensation that allegedly the Tuohys took and he didn't. I'm fascinated by this.
Well, he also says that the movie depicted him as unintelligent and dumber than he actually was and is, and that he fought that stigma throughout his career, that people treated him like he was stupid because of how he's portrayed in the movie.
Yeah, and your stereotypical feel-good story is what it turned into, right, with the happy ending. But he was not happy with how the film came out. I didn't watch that movie. I mean, look, you're going to watch yourself with a critical eye if someone's portraying you. I didn't watch that movie and think Michael Oher was dumb. I thought he hasn't been properly schooled, and he had a really rough upbringing. I never thought he was, naturally stupid or anything. And the Baltimore Ravens clearly didn't think that because they drafted him in the first round. He was a 2-time All-American at Ole Miss. So he did a pretty good job overcoming that stigma if, in fact, it was there.